Good Tuesday morning. What's up, everybody? Y'all get on in this
It's
room.
a no shade Tuesday.
I can't tell.
Don't,
Okay.
don't
Praise
throw no shade.
say. Say what you
Let's
gonna say.
go.
Say what you gonna say.
Say what you
Just
gonna
say it.
say.
Be
Let's
bold.
go.
Say it. Say it with your chest. Good morning, y'all. Look, I
What's
just got
up,
my
Pedro?
notification. So let me
Me
go
too.
ahead and share this while I'm thinking about it.
Let me do it too, Cherie. I'm
Yes.
excited about this discussion today.
Yes, it's
Let's
much
go.
needed.
Yes, it is.
Um, it
Yes, it
is
is.
Mental Health May, so
Yes,
it's
it
mental
is.
health awareness. So y'all come on in. Good morning, Carolita. Good morning, Shannon. Good morning, Sharice. Sneakerhead, what's up, y'all? So listen, we are the Faith Room. What is that? It's a platform of real people who come to who have real concerns, and we come in here to get real solutions. And so
Yes.
today is no less. We got a bona fide licensed professional that's going to come
Bonafide.
and talk to us and help us out with some mental health questions, mental wellness, and all the things. But y'all are rolling up in here. Good morning, Naomi. Good morning, Stephanie. How do you say this? Is it Oja? Is
Yeah,
it what it
Oja.
says?
Oja Rollins.
Okay. All right.
What's
Cool.
up, Or?
Good morning, Prince.
It's called an Or, baby.
Ain't no R. It's a J.
No, I was taking the first letter in her last name, O-R. O. Rollins.
Okay. The nickname. Okay.
Yeah. You know
All
we
right.
nickname folk in here, you know.
Good morning, Janice Carter. Good morning, Janaea Denise.
What's up?
Princess Hill, good morning. Wawa. Rochelle Williams. Shay Jones.
What
Y'all
up, Shay?
joining us today. Good morning, Rowana. Tori. Gwen. Rose Kelly. Good morning, Shonda Bell Smith.
What up, Shonda?
Minister Dennis.
He be
Anthony
in here, boy.
Sanford.
Do they be by their phone waiting? Because they be coming in at the same
I don't
time.
know, but I have to appreciate we got some pretty faithful faith rumors.
Yeah. Damn, we
Jerry
play.
McHugh, thank you for joining. Rich Barbie, good morning from Virginia Beach. Good
What's
morning.
up, Rich?
All right. Are you related to the Barbies in Arkansas? Because I know some.
You know, some Barbies. Spelled the same way?
Mm-hmm.
Spelled the same way? You know,
Yep.
that Georgia came out, baby. Spelt.
With a T, spelt the same. It didn't trigger nothing to me because I said,
Come on, you know. But these bougie folk in here who got English degrees.
Shay said we be waiting. Okay. We appreciate you for it. Good morning, Miss Ruby.
Let's go, Ruby Barnes.
Kim Fife, Roxy Turner. Good morning. Janice Marie. He said Barbies are everywhere. Okay.
Tony
All right.
Johnson. That's how it's spelt.
Spelt. Okay.
Y'all is another one.
Y'all is, yeah, I know it's Southern, but so look, so y'all don't say that in California?
I say it too much. I don't hear it. They don't say it a lot out here.
What y'all say? You all?
You all.
Guys?
You all. Yo, baby, yo. Yo, baby, yo.
Good morning, Tamika. Good morning, big brother Tony.
Tony in the building.
Renee, good morning.
Renee, what's happening?
Dree Berry. It's a testifying Tuesday. God is carrying me today. This recovery from ankle surgery is real. It is sapping my energy. I know God is leading me.
Hey,
Dree.
Dree.
A little bit, Dree. Get you some rest.
Yes.
Don't do too much because you don't want to, have it doing too much and then it swell up and cause all other kind of problems.
Absolutely.
Good
and you
morning.
know what, Dree? Here's what we're going to do for you today. The Faith Room going to buy your lunch today. How about that?
Right.
Thank you.
She's going to have to DoorDash.
DoorDash it, baby.
All right.
What's up, Jay Denise?
She said, I say y'all.
Come on.
They say we do say y'all.
Jay Denise is from Jay from Virginia somewhere though. I think. I don't know. Jay, where you from anyway? She one of my partners. I don't be knowing all that stuff though. Yeah.
Did I see Auntie Dora in here?
Dora Sanders be on the move. You got to catch up with her. If you don't,
Morning.
one day she got in the car with me at a funeral. Her family looking for her. I say, "Mama with me. She good."
Now they just out there looking. Where Mama? What? Gone.
Gone.
Jumped in the car.
All up in the car. I ain't told nobody.
Auntie, you know better than that. Got them going around in circles. Everybody calling. They're about to call the police.
But for her to be moving like she moving, her mind sharp, know that word.
It's a blessing.
And kick that right leg back doing a praise break and will shut the church down, Cherie.
It's a blessing. Janelle says she's from Texas.
There it is, Jay. It just
that's why you say y'all with us.
Cadra Jones from, where Cadra from? He down in the sticks. Eudora, Arkansas.
Yes.
Cad told us them stories, boy.
Eudora.
They're in them fields.
The people are coming in. They are tagging.
They coming. I'm looking myself.
Yeah.
She said, "I'm grown." You see her? See, God ain't gonna let you even spell it right. Let me tag your daughter in here. Let me tag Cynthia.
Lord have mercy. You know they was looking for you.
I'm grown.
They told nobody nothing.
She grown, Cherie. Grown and looking.
Oh God.
She'd be like, "Quit telling people my age. You blocking." I said, "Okay, Mama."
Oh Lord, but you look good for your age.
You do.
I'm 85.
Look at where she going, Cherie. Look at what you just said. Look at where she headed.
Let me find it.
Going to the gym.
On my way to the gym. Work it out here. I'm gonna start telling people I'm 70. They can be like, "Oh, you look great for your age." Yes.
Man. You tag her daughter right now. Your mommy here being.
They said you must be going to play golf today.
Who that?
You.
Y'all shut up.
You got the little golf clothes on.
Yeah, female Negroes can't just let you be.
Oh, it's spiffy. Embrace.
You know what? My assistant that put all my meetings. She's really protecting my calendar now. Tuesday and Wednesdays are my in-person days. So
okay.
But Cherie, this is the last. Let me tell you, sis. Sunday, number one, Sunday it was Mother's Day, so that was tough. But then my body was just. I was having these little like dizzy, like I was just tired.
Listen to your body, bro.
And I did. Yesterday I slept. And it that's all, I called the
your
doctor.
body needed it.
Cherie, and my doctor said fatigue will have you feeling like you just shutting down.
For sure.
And to sleep, man,
yeah.
Y'all, sleep is a blessing.
I'm trying to tell you now. She said Chick-fil-A will be welcome. I've been laying down for 20 hours a day since May 1st.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, you need to listen to your body.
Hey, Cherie. What's up, Richard Miller? Cassandra, what's up? Trayvon Wilson is in the building.
Do you want to go do first timers? Because our guest is on.
Yeah, we got to go. Mother said got to keep some bait on the hook. Get to the gym, Mother. Hey!
Get there.
Hey! All right, y'all, listen. Our guest has work to do and clients and Cherie, and we got to roll. So listen, any first timers today, we're going to cut across the field so we can get our guest in today. If you're here for the first time, I know it's early. We don't usually ask this right now. But if you're here for the first time, type in the number 1. Let us know where you're watching from and then who invited you in the room. Let's do that. Let's do that real quick if you're here for the very first time. And let's see if there are any, Cherie, in the building.
All right, I'm looking.
Pearlie, he did it again. Yes, sir. Maisha, good morning. Jackie, good morning. All right, let's see who coming up in here.
They said that top button giving Tiger Woods this morning.
I ain't studying y'all.
Why are you taking it as something bad?
No, I know the faith room. See, when you know your people, Cherie, you know your relatives. I know my cousins in here.
Good.
I hope your oatmeal cold right now.
They shouting out my Auntie Dora. Everybody
Mama done shut down the faith room, boy.
Yes, everybody talking to her right now.
Mama was a first lady for over 30 years, 40 years. She know. I'm so happy she by my side, Doc.
Yeah, you need some seasoned.
Man, she know ministry now.
They done been there, done that, seen it all.
Mama be sitting in the cut on Sunday like this, just looking at people.
Right? So I done seen your kind before. I already know what's gonna happen, but you know, today you can't say nothing to folks. Sadly, some people you gotta let them just go and experience it. Go and walk down that wrong road. I gotta tell you nothing. Y'all know everything today.
You can't tell them that today, Sheree. They're gonna leave your church if you do.
Guess what? I'm not gonna do. Lose sleep behind y'all.
They're gonna go to another
that Mack truck. I tried to tell you. You don't want nobody to tell you nothing.
Yeah. Anyway, I don't see any first timers.
I don't either.
They say Mama Dora is the topic of conversation.
They said, let me get myself to the gym then. We have we are without excuse. If Auntie Dora is disciplined enough to get to that gym.
Driving herself to the gym.
Come on now.
Yes, Lord. Anyway.
Your whole vibe.
All right. So, Sheree, I don't see any, sis. So if we want to get the question of the day queued up, y'all, again, y'all, it is Mental Health Awareness month of May is where we bring awareness to mental health. And we have a certified guest today, Ariane Willis-Smith, in today. She's here in San Diego. Tried to get her in last year, but our schedules just didn't connect. So I'm going to be bringing her in shortly, and we're going to start just some interview questions to her. And then, of course, in the comments, you can make, the comments that you make, and we'll just have a good conversation today. So we're going to get ready for the question of the day. Hope everybody's doing well. Yeah, I am, y'all. I'm coming down. So yes, and I have to warn people when people lose weight, quit putting rumors out there. Look at them rumors.
That's only in our community.
You can't.
They call you healthy when you're fat. Ooh, look at that healthy baby. That's a fat baby.
Sheree.
Ooh, he healthy.
Sheree, you took me back.
What?
But that little healthy baby.
Yeah. Oh, look at him. He good and healthy.
Yeah, man. But yeah, we're going to live and not die. V. Jones, good morning. Come on. So we're going to get ready for the question of the day. And we're going to have a great day. What's up? Why what you laughing at, Wanika?
Y'all ready? We
ready? You ready? You ready? Let's go.
Yo, Faith Room. What's mobbing, man?
Let's go, mama. Mama.
Get y'all some cardio in right now.
And that's the only gym some of y'all gonna do right now. Let's go. Where you at, Sheree? Dang, what? Let's go, make room. Hey. Let's go.
Okay, here is today's question. You're going to fill in the blank. I knew I was an adult when what?
Oh, my.
I knew I was an adult when.
Oh, Lord. Let's see.
Let's go.
Let's see.
Let's go.
What they talking about.
They got to think about it first.
They thinking hard.
Yes. When I started smoking, when I started paying rent, when I got my first paycheck and them taxes came out.
My Lord.
When I became a mom at 19. When I left home at 18, when I had to pay bills, when the bills started rolling in with my name on them, when I had to get up and go to work, when I tell my kids, hold on. When I tell my kids we got food at home. When the
yes.
When the bills started coming in.
That's a good one.
When I got in my own place, when I got my driver's license, come on. They kicked me out off my mama's insurance. When FICA took out my money from my check. When I went to grown-up jail.
Oh, Lord.
When I started comparing meat prices. When I bought my first car and moved into my first apartment at age 18. When I had nobody to call for my troubles but the Lord.
Oh,
pay my rent. When I had my son, when I started paying my rent, when I had my first kid, when I started paying bills, when I had to pay rent and pay bills and taxes, when them bills started coming.
Do you pay my bills?
Go to work, and even though it was snowing, I had to go to work anyway. When I had to pay my own bills, when I had to give my mother money toward the bills, when I had to pay my own bills, when I wanted to spend my money on appliances, when I had my first child at 20, when I got my first apartment, first rental application, when I had to learn my social security number, when I bought my fiance a car, when I was in labor and said to turn the contractions off, they started laughing at me. Girl, I had my folks in there praying like having deliverance service because I had never felt nothing like that in my life.
You had a hard delivery?
It wasn't hard. I just didn't expect that.
The pain.
I don't know. And then the epidural, they offer you that. But I thought you could only get one. So I was like, I'm going to save it. They was like.
Now the epidural is like a pain shot, right?
That goes in your spine with that long needle. Child.
Painful, Cherie?
I can't say it was painful. It was welcoming because of the contractions. But I was under the assumption you only get one shot. And so that's why, I'm going through all of this. And they was like, do you want us to give you the epidural? I was like, no, I'm going to save it. Not yet. So the nurse that was in there went and told the head nurse. Then she came back. She was like, Miss Evans, sweetie, honey, if it wears out, we can give you another one. I was like, oh, well, bring it on then. But because I had the saints, my mom and dad was in there praying. Do you hear me? I was cutting the food.
So you got two. You got two shots.
I don't know if the other one, I don't even know if the first one wore off. That was in my mind, child.
It was in your head. Thank you.
First child. I never had no kids. Watched too much TV. When my daddy finally told me no, when I had to make my own financial decisions, when I had to get a job and take care of myself, when I got my first apartment, when I became a mom at 16, when I could tell the adults to mind their freaking business.
Who said that?
Kim. When I heard my mother come out of my mouth, when I moved out, when I started deferring credit and taking responsibility, paying rent, utilities, food, gas, and for a car.
Adulting, man.
Yeah, it's real in the field. What would it be for you? When you said I'm grown.
Yeah, I think when my parents when my grandmama and mama, they start saying no. I'm with Patrice on that one.
When they start telling you no.
Or figure it out.
Mm-hmm.
That grew me up real fast. Yeah. You know what? I figured it out.
And I think I felt grown when I paid off my first car. But, that's for me, it was a sense of accomplishment that I didn't need. I ain't gonna say I didn't need no help because I'm sure they probably helped me with some car payments a time or two. But the car was in my name. I didn't have to have a co-signer and I paid it off.
Right.
And so I felt grown.
Is it hard for you with an adult child to tell your son no when you know they need help? Like, is it
always hard? But yeah,
in the back of your mind though, do you know you're gonna do it, but you just want to see what they're gonna do, or do you?
I will help you if you're trying.
That's it. That's what mine.
Don't let me be your first go-to. Don't call me first. What have you done? Have you tried to figure it out?
Right. That was my granddaddy. So he'll say, okay, if it costs, how much did you come up with?
Right. What you got?
What you got? That's the question. And they'll put the rest. So yeah. So even as an adult, I still got the help, but I had to put in the work.
Yeah. I tell my son, take me out the equation. Don't factor me in. When you have a problem, don't think about me. What are you? Don't think about me. Get my name out your mouth. Okay, what are you gonna do? Okay, so you've exhausted all options. Now come to me and see
And let's
if I
talk
can
about
help.
it.
Let's
Right.
talk. Right. But don't let your first run to be mama up. Matter of fact, he gave me this shirt. This is one of my gifts.
Your gifts. Okay, I like it. What's
His
up?
name right here. And then established 1997.
Come on, Rodney. You better think out the box.
All right.
Yeah. Okay. So
Oh,
listen,
this
y'all.
hey, first timer. We missed it.
Okay.
Well, we asked for it.
First time, let us know.
Somebody saying, hey, first timer.
Again, if you're here for the first time, let us know who you are. We miss you.
Had a couple people say they knew they was grown when them bars closed behind them.
Wow.
Yeah.
Man. Margaret Simpson. Come on. Okay, first timer, where are you? Let us know. Type in one and who are you so we can give you some love.
Who is it? Since you're welcoming them, who is it? Tell us the name so at least we can say it.
You know how we do. Let's see.
Yeah.
All right. So we're going to go ahead. We'll catch it. It's a little delay, so we'll get it. What's up, Lachey? Leslie Chandler. Good morning. D5 Glover. D5 Glover. It's the first timer, Cherie.
Okay. Good morning, y'all. Welcome.
What's up, D5?
So I didn't see the picture, so I don't know.
Yeah. D5 in the house.
Welcome, welcome. Thank you for coming into the faith room. We're sure you're going to have a great time.
Absolutely. She'll be back. So listen, y'all, it is Mental Health Awareness Month. You know what Cherie and I do. We try to stay connected to the times and what's happening. And so this week, it's going to be all about mental health awareness. And so we have a guest today who I actually tried to get in last year, but it was just a scheduling conflict. I met her through Pastor Eric Gaffney. She's a member of New Bethel Baptist Church, her and her family, and just started following her work and seeing some of the things that she did. And she followed protocol and got permission from her pastor.
I love it. I love it.
Yeah, she old school, baby. She said, let me get with my pastor. I said, girl, that's how you do it. So, but she's here today, and for the first time, and just to have her on speed dial and our own Miss Yvette, it's just a good thing to have versus us pulling people we don't know. These are people who, and again, she's been a part of the faith room.
I've seen her in the room. Yeah,
she's a faith roommate. So she's not here because of opportunity. She's here because she believes in the platform, and God has just gifted her. So y'all know how we do it. Cherie is the interviewer. I'm just gonna jump in. I can't do it like the co-host. I'm just gonna be straight up. So she's gonna.
Is that mama?
Who that?
Right there.
That's
how
we
raised her.
Come on.
That was what you were. The kudos to you know,
mama.
Do things in order.
Miss Regina, God bless you.
That's how we raised her.
We
don't expect nothing no different, honey.
That's a mama response.
Yes, I love it.
So y'all, welcome to the room. And again, she told me her name backstage. I've been practicing all night.
You got it. You've been practicing all night. It's not hard.
You go ahead and bring her in, so I won't butcher her first day.
All right, y'all, put your hands together. Let's get some hand claps in the chat for Ariane Willis-Smith.
Hi, good morning.
What up?
I'm here. I made it.
Welcome her to the room. Come on, we got to give her that faith room. Yes. Make her smile even more. Come on, y'all.
There we go. Here we go.
Watch this, Ariane. Watch this. They finna show you some love.
Hand claps and the love. Yes.
They coming. So listen, let me tag your pastor. Have you tagged Pastor Gaffney and Lady?
Okay, I have not. No.
Let me get him in here.
Get him in here.
Let me get Pastor Eric Gaffney in here.
Come on, Pastor.
So he can be proud.
Yes, indeed.
There
Wow,
we
the
go.
love is coming in. I'm trying to catch them. They're going so fast.
Yeah,
All the kudos and the welcomes.
they coming. Look at this. Okay, so Pastor Eric Gaffney, there you go. Let me see if he's gonna come in. He may be in the schoolhouse.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yes. But they coming in. Sis, welcome to the Faith Room. Again, you've already been in the room. You've been very faithful, very committed.
Yeah.
And we tried to do this last year when you had to get permission from your pastor. But we just couldn't do our schedule just didn't work. But this was just perfect timing. So I'm going to yield to our co-host. I'm excited about the conversation. You're going to help a lot of people. Thousands of people watch the replay. And so we know that the content is going to be helpful, not just for our live viewers. How many do we have in the room, Cherie, right now?
166.
All right, let's keep tagging y'all and keep sharing. And we're going to yield the floor to our guest today. So, Pastor, co-host.
Okay. Again, welcome, welcome, welcome. And so, as Nate has already forestated, this month of May has been deemed mental health awareness. And I guess we could start out just defining some terms. What is it? What is mental health or mental wellness? What are they synonymous, or like what is that? What is this all about?
Yeah, I don't know that I would say they're synonymous. So I would say that mental health is a person's condition, right? Psychological or emotional or mental condition, right? But mental wellness is the pursuit of being well and being healthy mentally and taking care of yourself and having balance and self-care and all of those things. So mental health is a very broad category, but I would say mental wellness is what we're all striving to be, right?
The pursuit of being.
The pursuit of, yes.
Okay. All right. So I guess my first question to you would be, what are some of the current trends, or what are some of the commonalities when it comes to mental health challenges or disorders right now?
Oof. So post-COVID, I think most people understand this anxiety, clinical levels of anxiety, not being worried, not being, nervous, but clinical anxiety rising to the level where there's some kind of impairment, or they're not able to go to work and they're not functioning and not leaving the house. But we're also seeing bipolar is shooting up, and we're also seeing safety concerns among our young people. So everything seems like it's trending up, whether that's because we're reporting it more or because it's occurring more. I can't say for sure.
Okay. All right.
I want to talk about that too, that whole thing, because now, can you talk about bipolar? Because we use that term a lot. Yes. Bipolar, and then this term schizophrenia, and like talk about people who are bipolar, and
because it's a real thing.
It's a real thing, and how is that diagnosed? Can you just, because we joke about it, y'all bipolar, you bipolar. I don't want to joke about it if I don't know what it means. So I want to respect people who may have that condition. So Ariane, just kind of give us some insight on that.
Yeah, so bipolar, there's two types of bipolar. There's bipolar 1 and there's bipolar 2. So, and we joke about it all the time. I actually just did a presentation in our church at New Bethel about this and how you so bipolar, this weather is bipolar. And what it really means is that somebody experiences really intense highs and really intense lows. So they're experiencing depression, right? So they're feeling that overwhelming sense of sadness, withdrawing from people. Sometimes they have suicidal ideation, and they're not leaving the house, all of those things. But then they can go through a state where they feel what we call manic. So they are hyperverbal, talking a lot. They're moving around a lot more than usual. They might be spending money more than usual, any kind of impulsive behaviors. So it's really detrimental, because the after effect of all this, right? If I'm spending money in my household and I don't have it to spend, when I come back down, now I have to deal with all of the effects of what I've done, right? That can include other impulsive behaviors, think gambling, adult activities, right? All of those things can occur when somebody is manic. And so exactly, somebody said going from one extreme to the other. People think that bipolar 2 is not as bad as bipolar 1, but the reality is it's detrimental regardless. It's difficult to manage. And so bipolar 1, we see more psychosis. people hearing things, seeing things, experiencing things that aren't there. With bipolar 2, people tend to spend more time in that depressive episode.
Wow. And people are, you know, admitting we got a bipolar 1 person in here. We have somebody that their mom was bipolar, and then they're all it. So with that, can it be passed down?
That's a good question, Cherie.
It can.
Yeah, there's a huge genetic component with bipolar, depression, anxiety, schizophrenia, all of those things. That's one of the questions we want to know as soon as you come in, right? Does your family have a history of mental illness? It doesn't have to be the same thing, but it changes our capacity to deal with things. Genetically, we've been predisposed to mental illness, but also what did our moms do? How did they react to situations? And so there is a huge genetic component that comes along with mental health. Yeah.
Wow.
That's a lot. Any questions, y'all, type them in. Again, we're flowing from in our own way, but if you have any questions, particularly on this thought of bipolar, schizophrenia, all of that.
Here's a question.
What about, and you see how I shifted, Ariane, see, we in the comments now.
Yes,
what about binge eating? Can that be an extreme characteristic, binge eating?
Binge eating can fall in the category of an eating disorder. There's a number of different disorders. There's binge eating with purging. There's binge eating without purging. So anytime that think of the extremes, right? Anytime you're eating to the point where you're sick and you're feeling bad about it, let me tell you, if you're hiding in shame behind your behavior, potentially it could mean that there's a mental illness associated with it, right? Eating too much and be like, oh, this food is good, it feels good, is not necessarily binge eating. But if you're hiding food and you're hiding in the corner and you're, potentially making yourself sick after it, it can be diagnosable binge eating disorder. Absolutely.
Wow.
Okay.
And that's a big one there, because I thought, how would you define binge eating? Is that eating too much when you're full, like
to the point of you're sick? Or you're not supposed to, and like she said, hiding and eating and
hiding the food.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. That's because I felt like whenever I get anxiety, I eat a lot. I know I'm getting to that state of stress when I'm just eating.
That's your indicator,
right? You don't supposed to dip no Snicker bar in no Kool-Aid. I mean, I'm just doing stupid stuff.
Baby, bad. Look, one day recently, I ate a sausage biscuit for breakfast. I had Starbucks refresher. I'm going all over town getting all this different stuff. I had nuggets.
Come on, sis.
From Wendy's and a Frosty. Then I ate some I cooked. I was like, what is wrong with me?
You were in school, all them tests, them classes.
But that was in one day.
That is.
It's stress eating.
Go ahead, Ariane. Go ahead, sis.
No, I was saying it's stress eating, right? We can stress eat, and that's okay, right? It happens. We want to be aware of it. But if you're finding that you're doing it all the time and you're not really going through a particularly difficult time, or you find yourself doing it, all the time, then it's a concern.
Got it.
Here's a question. What is the test, or how can you see? How can you know if you are bipolar?
That's good, sneakerhead.
Yeah. So bipolar disorder, I would say easier one to diagnose because it's very clear in your behaviors. If you have concerns about being bipolar, talk to your therapist or doctor, but document your symptoms first.
Mm-hmm.
Know how long are you experiencing those symptoms? When are you having these highs? What does it look like? When are you having the lows? Have a really clear idea of your symptoms so that you can say, here you go, this is what I'm feeling. And we can usually tease it out really quickly. So there's no sit down test for it. We're really just looking at how your behaviors are presenting.
Okay.
That's good.
There's another one.
How can we best help a loved one, Ariane, dealing with bipolar, manic, or schizophrenic disorder?
Oh, I love this question. I love this question because mental health affects everybody in the family.
Right.
So we want to, first educate ourselves about what they're feeling and what they're experiencing. And I usually say, ask the person. Although we have a certain set of symptoms, all mental illness does not look the same. And so ask that person, what do you need from me right now? Right? It seems like this is what you're feeling. what do you need from me? Do you need somebody to just listen? Do you need me to, call the doctor? What do you need from me? And the other thing too would be for bipolar and manic episodes, we want to reduce the harm. So that may mean talking to your loved one about turning over cards when they're feeling manic, making sure that we're not making any major decisions when they're feeling manic. Have that plan in place for your family before the manic episode even starts.
Okay.
And same thing for schizophrenia. Mm-hmm.
So I don't know if this is along the same lines. My daughter was recently diagnosed with ADHD and severe depression disorder. She has a therapist and they are working together for next steps for medication or something more aggressive or something more like aggressive sessions. I'm not sure if necessary. Her question is, what can I do as a mom to help her in this process?
I think I would say it depends on how old your daughter is, right? So adult daughter is going to be different than children. So under the age of 11, to under the age of 12, people in California.
She's a young adult.
Oh, young adult. Okay.
So.
Yeah. So I would say talking to her therapist, being open about what her symptoms are, coming up with a plan again when they're feeling well so that they can come in on their plan, and then keeping open communication with the therapist. Again, in California, anybody over the age of 12, it's very difficult for parents to be involved in treatment without the young adult's consent. That's something to note. And that's very difficult for our parents, but open lines of communication is the biggest help.
Wow. That's good. They're coming in, y'all. I told Ariane we may not get to question 3, and she already was prepared. So we good. We ready for y'all. Yes. And let me just say, this is good. Richard said it. I love this. Y'all, this is free information.
Yeah.
So please, any questions you could feel free to ask them. How can you help and be available if that person doesn't realize they have the problem? Oh Lord.
Yeah.
You know something wrong, but they like, no, this can't be normal.
Denial, or they don't see it.
Yeah.
Yeah. We have to hold space. We can't force anybody to treatment, right? We hold space for them. Again, you may put it out there and say, hey, this is what I'm thinking, but let me know when you're ready. I think Faith Room talked about that a couple of podcasts ago about just waiting for somebody to open up and let you know when they're ready. That's all that we can do. And that's the hard part about it. Also, NAMI, if you're interested, if you have a family member, you can seek out NAMI, and they have support groups for family members.
Yeah.
NAMI.
Shout out to Anita Fisher, one of our own, who works heavily with NAMI. She's been in the room before. Anita Fisher, who does a lot of advocacy in that area. Here's a pastor, Ariane, Pastor Rodney, Missouri. What are some of the tools we can use when we find ourselves spiraling from these impulses?
Definitely. A great question. So like I mentioned before, if you tend to, again, look at your tendencies. If you tend to spend money or have impulsive buying, turn over your cards during that time, right? So you may say, listen, honey, if I start doing these symptoms, we got to sit down. You got to take the cards. I'm not making any decisions. I'm not paying any bills. I'm disconnecting my cards from Amazon and all those things, right? I am putting social media away for a little bit. I'm focusing on self-care and wellness during this time, and have your plan with your external support people. That's going to be your biggest key during that time.
Okay.
Unplug.
Please unplug. We want to minimize the damage that comes along with it.
That's right. Tia said, I have been diagnosed with severe depression. The hardest thing I face is educating people on how to handle me. What is a healthy suggestion for educating loved ones on this?
Oh, that's such a great question. Tia,
yeah, thank you for being honest, sis. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you so much for sharing. Be honest with them. Be honest with them about your condition and how you're feeling, and say, this is what I need you to do. We can't be secretive about mental health and expect people to know. So it's okay for you to say, hey, don't do this, or I really need you to do this when I'm struggling. And this is what that looks like. So I'm having a really down day. I don't want to leave the house. So when you see that I'm like that, please encourage me to come out and have dinner. Please encourage me to come out of the room for an hour at a time. Yeah.
That's good.
Another one. What is the best advice for the caretaker or loved one that is exhausted dealing with the loved one with a mental health disorder? Are there any resources available?
I am sending air support to this person because one of the toughest things to do is to be a caregiver for somebody who's experiencing mental health. There are mental health support caregiver support groups. So depending on your insurance coverage, sometimes there are groups within your insurance coverage, but also don't be afraid to look in the community. Again, NAMI is a great resource for caregivers. It lets you take time away to support yourself and your mental health, right? We don't want you to go down that same road. So take time for yourself. It's
That's
okay
good.
to have somebody else come in and say, hey, I got you. I'm going to take care of this person right now.
That's
You
good.
take a break, right? If you need respite, take it. And again, NAMI is a great resource, and I would check with your insurance coverage or their insurance coverage to see if there are groups available. So like-minded people offering support.
Good.
Yeah.
Woo! Hold on a minute. Let me just ask this question. This is so good to me. I'm feeling a part two. We may have to cover you to come
I got you.
Because here's a question then. So with kids, now I get this from parents a lot as a pastor. Believe it or not, y'all. Pastor Nate, the teachers are saying my child is hyperactive. And so they recommend putting them on this medication. I guess, is it Adderall or some type of, okay. So what are your thoughts on that? Because here's what I've heard, that those medicines help the teacher get through a day. Mm-hmm. But when it wears off, the parents are having to deal with their child walking around looking like zombies. This is what they told me. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. They're quiet, they don't talk. So what are your thoughts on medication, particularly with our kids, Ariane? Because is it where the teachers just want this in their system so they won't disrupt the, talk about that for the parents who may be dealing with that.
Yeah, so the first thing is parents shouldn't be recommending medication. I mean, teachers should not be recommending medication. Okay. Simple as that. They shouldn't be. If they have a concern, they should say, hey, parent, you should probably have little Johnny evaluated. You know, this is what I'm seeing. But they shouldn't be recommending medication. The second thing is there are some children who really benefit from medication because they're struggling. So it can affect their self-esteem, right? Because they're not able to focus in class like other children. They feel like they're always being picked on. So if it's rising to that level, then talk to the doctor about if it's appropriate. But there are so many things that we can do in the classroom before we do medication. That looks like running club before school so that they can burn off that extra energy. Some teachers will provide wiggle chairs where they can rock during class to help them focus. Allowing frequent breaks for those children. We're not trying to make their brain do something that it's not naturally doing, right? So if they need breaks, give them a break. And so you can talk to the school about doing an IEP or 504 plan so that they can put that in writing so that your child is not being punished for these behaviors. Again, if it's extreme, talk to the doctor. But there are so many things that we can do prior to putting a child on medication for ADHD.
Oh, have mercy.
That's good.
Y'all, this is good to me. Mm-hmm. Perla asks, what is your thought about eating to make yourself go to sleep?
I would want to know, is it a habit? And so you've conditioned yourself to eat and then sleep, right? Because our bodies are built for routine, or is there some kind of compulsion? So I would have to assess that one a little bit further to tease that out. But I think that if it's causing damage, if you're having weight gain or, you know, you can't fall asleep without doing it, then I would talk to a doctor, but that one might need to be teased out just a little bit more.
Yeah.
Okay.
Many a days I woke up with Cheetos in my pillow.
It happens.
I thought that was the answer, boy. Yeah, Lord.
Well, no, I've done it out of habit. Like I feel like I have to eat before I go to bed. Like I gotta have crunchy, or I need sweet before I go to sleep.
Yeah, and in that case, it's more just
a habit because you ain't even hungry. You just know, oh, I'm about to go to bed. Oh, let me stop by the refrigerator right quick, or let me go to the pantry right quick, girl. Yeah. So that's just stop it. But like you said, that one needs to be fleshed out a little bit. Here's another one. How do you help a loved one who exhibits these symptoms but refuses getting help or seeing someone out of fear of meds, or they don't want the stigma that goes with it? How do you talk to them like you need this help?
Yes. Mm-hmm. You let them know that you see them, right? That this is not punitive, right? I see what you're going through and I'm here for you. And so when you're ready to take that step, I'm going to take it with you and I'm here with you. So this is what I'm seeing. I really think that you need some support. And so I love you regardless, right? I'm here for you regardless of your condition, regardless of how you're feeling, but let's get you some support. We really want to focus on supporting that person, not so much telling them what you should and shouldn't do, right? So, yeah.
And so I don't know if that answer goes with this one too. I feel that one of my relatives is suffering from this. They're easily set off. I've asked the Lord to assist me with triggers to prevent the flares. How can you get them to identify that they need assistance? Is that the same answer?
Similar. Yeah, it's a similar thing, is that we can't force anybody to get support unless there's a couple of criteria, but for the most part we can't support anyone, but we can really keep those lines of communication open. We can be really aware of how we're talking about mental health too, right? If we're like, oh, that person's so crazy and that's so bipolar, why would that person who's struggling want to reach out and talk to us?
Right.
That's so good. That's so good. Yep.
So one of the questions, because you said that, what are some language guidelines to keep in mind when we're talking about other people's mental diagnosis or symptoms? Or what are some language, like how do we need to be aware of what we're saying? Because we use, like Nate brought out earlier, we use that bipolar jokingly, or you talked about it, how we say, oh, this weather's so bipolar, or girl, you so bipolar, or you crazy. What are some words we need to kind of watch?
Yeah, that's a great question. And yeah. So I think that the first thing I always tell people is people first language. And so what that means is we always go, oh, that person's schizophrenic, or a depressed person. And we want to switch that around because they are not their diagnosis. And so we want to say a person.
Wow, that's good.
A person with depression.
Come on, that's good, sis.
Yeah, a person with schizophrenia, right? Yeah. They are not their diagnosis. And it's important that we let them know that you are a person first. You are my mom, you're my sister, my cousin, my brother first. And so we want to stay away from that. Also, being aware about how we react to somebody else with mental illness, right? Sometimes in passing, we'll see somebody on the side of the road and we're like, oh, Lord, he touched, he this, he's that. And so we want to be mindful of how we're saying those things. And so I don't let people use crazy in my practice. We don't do it at all. We say we are dealing with mental health. I'm dealing with depression. We call it like it is, but we're not going to use any of those stigmatizing words like crazy or touched or whatever have you. Yeah.
Okay.
Good. You got a lot of questions coming in. I saw, Anthony Sanford, can you be diagnosed with bipolar disorder from violent and loving actions at the same time? Just checking if they got it right years ago. So I guess
violent and loving actions at the same time.
Yeah.
I would kind of have to know a little bit, Anthony, about like what that looks like. Again, generally with bipolar disorder, we can see some really intense mood swings and behaviors, but I don't know the loving actions part. So I would need a little bit more on that one.
Yeah, that's a good one. Good point. Melissa Henderson, what is some advice for mothers to keep their mental health strong as they deal with the changes of life? These are mamas, man. That's a great question, Melissa.
All right, Melissa. Well, I'm a mama, so it's important that we take care. We always prioritize the kids, we prioritize the house and work and everything above ourselves. And it's important to take a step back and prioritize your self-care. So sometimes you may have to leave the kids at home. Sometimes you need a weekend away. Sometimes you need a massage, or just when you come home, say, hey, kids, I need 10 minutes before y'all come and storm me coming through the door, right? And then if you have a partner in the home, you say, hey, partner, I need you to help me out to balance this out. I need you to take this shift so that I can prioritize myself, right? I need to be off the clock sometimes too. So moms, speak up for yourself and advocate for your needs. Important.
Right.
Every parent.
Because there are a lot of moms I know who are dealing with children. I think she may be frozen.
Okay.
Yeah, who are dealing with kids, Ariane, who have mental health challenges. And so I think that's good advice, because what has been your experience with mothers or parents who are dealing with kids like that? How are they balancing themselves with it? Because some don't have help. They're doing it all by themselves. Mm-hmm. I have a partner, her has a child with mental illness, and he would come to her home and just rages. I mean, banging on the door. I mean, that's her child. Mm-hmm. And it was affecting her greatly. So what are you seeing with parents as to how they're dealing with handling this with their children?
Yeah, we're seeing that parents are being burnt out, right? They're burnt out in dealing and managing, helping their children manage the mental health conditions. Also, sometimes they feel responsible, right? I've seen a lot of parents who, I don't know what I did. How did they get like this? And so it's very important to know that there are a number of reasons why somebody can be dealing with mental health challenges. And so you're not to blame, and you can only do so much. So we are not to blame for everything that happens in our child's life, bad or good. That's and good. So allowing ourselves the self-compassion and saying, this is something that they're dealing with and I can support them, but I'm not responsible for whether they get better or not. And then prioritize self-care after that.
That's good.
I just wanted to see y'all to see this comment. I think it's great. This is Bill. He says, me and my wife has a, because he said he has bipolar 2 earlier. So he says, me and my wife have a trigger word that I say when I feel an episode coming on. She calms me with holding my hand and asking me what she can do to help. Usually comfort is the only thing I need. And so I thought that was good to know.
Thank you, Billy, for sharing that. Anita Fisher put in a book earlier, and of course, she's one of the advocates and works with NAMI training. It's early on. I'll find it, Cherie, but as a book she recommended. I think it's free on Amazon, but we'll go back and find that comment. But thank you, Anita, for sharing in the comments the information you have. Is another question, Cherie. What do you suggest when you're sitting in sadness about your past, that what if and I should have, that tend to linger?
Yes, great question. So the big thing, I'm gonna say this very clearly so it doesn't sound wrong. Don't should on yourself. We cannot go back and breathe yesterday's air. We can't go back and change what happened yesterday. And sometimes we have to give ourselves compassion and say, I was that, or that happened, but I'm committed to moving forward. Today is a new day and I have opportunity in every moment. And I'm going to take the opportunity to do something different, right? We don't have to go back and look at our past and let that be how we approach the future.
So
yeah, that's good. Don't should on yourself.
That's good.
You can't
There's another pastor, and he's also a consultant, church consultant. How do you help someone who displays extreme narcissistic behavior?
Narcissistic behavior is very difficult because oftentimes they don't come to us and say, hey, I'm narcissistic. It's kind of in the diagnosis. And so with narcissism, we can only control ourselves or dealing with narcissistic people. And so that may mean taking a step back. This is a tricky one because we can't, again, force somebody to change their behavior. So you may have to set your boundaries and say, if you do this, then I'm going to have to leave. If you do this, then I'm no longer going to deal with you. And that's you setting your boundary for yourself. Again, we can't force anybody, and narcissistic behavior is very difficult. Wow.
That's good.
Yep.
That's a whole subject on narcissism, dealing with a narcissist.
In fact, we did it once before, and I don't remember which therapist it was, but they mentioned how because it's not something that they'll admit, very seldom can a narcissist be helped.
Right.
Boy. Yeah. Ariane, I'm thinking of a part 2, sis. If you can come back.
Absolutely.
We'll tomorrow, because I think we need to keep this going. I don't want to, because we even got past question 2. But here's
these are
good. These are good.
Yeah.
Absolutely. You want to go ahead and read this one, Cherie?
Are you sharing general mental health signs or symptoms to look for in teenagers?
Oh, absolutely. So the symptoms are going to be pretty similar. We're looking at moodiness, extreme sadness, or not wanting to get out of the house. One of the big things is looking for changes in behavior. So if your child was always moody or they were kind of always in their room, that may not be a sign. But if your child was outgoing and energetic and all of a sudden they're in their room, they don't want to talk or interact, that could be something. Or they're worrying to the point of, I don't want to go to school because I'm worried about what's going to happen, right? They're not able to do the things that they would normally do. That could be an indicator. I think with teenagers, the best thing to do is have continued open communication. They don't come to us when they're struggling unless we have open communication consistently.
That's good.
Yeah.
They ain't going to just start right there.
No.
Okay. Do you want this to be the last question, or?
Yeah, we'll do one more. We'll do one more after this. Where can a pastor or someone in church leadership go for help without being judged or feeling helpless?
That's good.
That is a great question.
Mhm.
I would hope, and I am not a pastor, and so I would say that I hope that you would be able to see a therapist like anyone else. It's confidential, and so it's okay to talk to other, pastors who offer support and that and all of that. But if you're struggling with mental health, we also want you to talk to a therapist. And find one that you have a relationship with, who understands what you're going through, who speaks your language, because a lot of the success of therapy is contingent on the relationship that you have with the provider. So I would say find a therapist. You can also find therapists who are Christian therapists, and that can offer support as well.
So what are the benefits of a Christian therapist as opposed to?
Yeah.
I know I have a Christian. I asked for one. So what are the benefits for those of us who are Christians?
I think it's about being able to feel heard and seen, right? And also somebody who, like I said, speaks your language. So sometimes if we go to therapists who don't understand what our culture or what we're going through or our experiences, sometimes they can misinterpret things that we say. For instance, if somebody goes, "Oh, I felt so good in church, I got the Holy Ghost," and your therapist is not a Christian, they might judge differently. They might assess that differently.
Yep.
And so we want to make sure that also you want to make sure that the advice and the support that you're getting aligns with your background. And so if that matters to you, you can seek out a Christian therapist. There are plenty of websites like Psychology Today, or if you are part of PATH, it's now called RULA, to find a therapist. They'll say it on there, Christian therapist.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And so many pastors, Cherie knows this, are dealing with depression and mental health issues, and it's very lonely, and many have taken their own lives. Ariane, they're drinking. It's real, and I'm glad George asked that question, because to preach in pain and to have to preach under all of the things that you have to carry, it's a lot. So I think pastors do need a safe space, and therapy is one of those avenues. So this is Anita Fisher, y'all. A great book called "I'm Not Sick, I Don't Need Help" by I'm thinking Javier Amador. He developed a method called LEAP: Listen, Empathize, Agree, Partner. He has a few free videos on YouTube and a book on Amazon.
Yeah, I like that.
Anita is the bond doc. Anita and her together, y'all are dude, man. But yeah, that's good information, Anita. Thank you for sharing that. We could do one more question, Cherie. They're still coming in. If you see one more that you want to pull up, and then we'll let Ariane get to her day. And she'll be back tomorrow, y'all. And we're going to take care of her and be a blessing in her life. Trust me. But this is just invaluable information. Do you feel it's important for someone to take social media breaks? I've deleted mine and I'm okay for now.
Yeah, I do. I think that social media sometimes is known as positive toxicity, right? And so we are seeing the best of everything, right? Oh, I got this car, I got this job, my kids are doing this, this is doing that. And we're just kind of inundated with this positive, stuff. But a lot of the times that's not how it really is behind the scenes. And so we have to be careful about what we're consuming. And so disconnecting, reflecting on your life, your situation, and showing gratitude for, where you're at and where the Lord has brought you is so important. So yes, I do think it's important to disconnect.
That's good. How many live are we at, Cherie? Where we at?
200 straight up.
We're at 200 right now live. Everybody's saying this is amazing. This is amazing. This is amazing. This is so good. Please come back, because I'm driving and I got a question.
Can't ask the question.
I will be back.
We got 2 more minutes, Cherie. I don't know if you see it. What do you do when the person lashes out at you and you're trying to help? They just going in.
Yeah, so they may not be ready in that moment. And so that may mean saying, when you're ready, I'm right here, right? But you can set your boundary and say, I'm not going to allow you to talk to me like that. But as soon as you're ready to have a conversation, I'm right here for you. Right. Love and support.
So going at them with the same energy is definitely not helpful.
Not going to help.
It's not going to help. And that person's they're not in a position to receive that. And so it's so important that we recognize where they're at in that moment. And if we're the ones who we're the rational ones in that situation, utilize that, take a step back, and when you're ready, I'm here.
Wow.
Ariane, I heard about you, but girl, you know your stuff.
Yes, she's
Thank
done
you.
great.
Like, just as a Black sister, man, I just want to give you kudos for just, as a Black sister, putting out knowledge, educated. I could talk to you all day. All I need is some candles and that little music in the back.
And some Kleenex.
Right. That's it. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Do T. Lou.
Dub.
Okay. Want to read it, Cherie? Dub.
Sure. She says a friend's son committed suicide 2 weeks ago and no one saw it coming. He was very successful, had a beautiful family life, a wife and 3 children. What signs were missed that no one saw his depression? His family and coworkers are all devastated.
Wow.
I'm so sorry for your loss. That's a really tough situation. And people who are struggling and who are experiencing suicidal thoughts, they usually go a long way to try to cover it up. So you may not have seen anything because they didn't want you to see anything. They covered it up. They laughed in public. They, put on that mask. And the problem is they get tired of wearing the mask, right? They get tired of having to carry all of that. And so one of the things that we're looking for, again, is any change in routine and behavior, or if somebody is depressed and all of a sudden they look great and they're great, they're singing and, just over the top happy, that could be a concern because of that marked change in behavior. Again, anytime they're withdrawing from other people, but it's also important to know that people who are really struggling may not externalize that. They may hold it all in. And so sometimes there's not a lot that we can do.
Yeah. I did a funeral, Ariane. I told the Faith Room, young lady jumped off the Coronado Bridge. She was in modeling in LA. Her family was, and the mom said it at the funeral. She said, I never knew my baby was going through anything. And I just got chilled when I just said that. Wow. She said, I never knew. She was modeling. Who was the other model in New York, Cherie? She was a professional model and she jumped off her balcony. So I think when we ask people, and we're not professionals, Cherie and I, but we do say, check on your friends who appear to be okay.
Yes.
So let me ask you this. So when we do check on them, if they're going to all links to hide it, are they going to be upfront with us? Like, and I guess that's too. You don't know, huh?
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, sometimes they may. Sometimes it's just sometimes people just want to be asked, and it may require ongoing conversation. They may not say it the first time. They may say it the second time. The other thing you can also say is, how you doing? How you feeling? Not necessarily saying how's your mental health, right? We don't always have to lean in and ask about that. But it is possible that they don't say anything, but we still want to ask. We want to put it out there that we're here if they need any support, make sure they're going out, socializing, all of those things. But it can be really difficult to see. If somebody does say they're struggling, then we can take different action. So, but it can be difficult if somebody doesn't want you to see it.
Okay.
That's so good. Ariane, everybody talking about how knowledgeable you are. Rwana, I love how knowledgeable she is, and she speaks so clearly about the subject on mental health. Kudos.
Thank you.
Yeah. Anyway, we're going to stop because we'll be here all day, and she's agreed, Cherie, to come back, Lord willing, tomorrow. So listen, y'all, get on the phone. Let everybody let them know that the Faith Room is dealing with mental health. We have a certified, credentialed individual in the room who's off the chain. Y'all see it, and she'll be back tomorrow to give us more information. Serenity P said, our community needs this information. I'm grateful to be in the room this morning. So powerful. So any final thoughts, co-host?
No, I'm ready for it tomorrow.
Me too. I want to keep talking. I know, Cherie, I don't want to stop with it.
I think if I appreciate just saying, just keep checking on people, even though they may not open up right away. I love it when you say it lets them know that somebody is concerned. somebody cares. So whenever you get ready to open up, I'm here. So that's what that does. So don't get discouraged, y'all. When they say I'm fine or whatever, keep asking.
Absolutely.
Don't be overbearing, but you know what I'm saying? Keep checking on people. Hey, just checking on you. Good. That lets them know somebody's concerned.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And y'all, if we miss your question, wasn't intentional. Just bring it back tomorrow. We'll try to queue it up, and we'll keep this conversation going. Ariane Willis-Smith, y'all. Let's give her another hand of appreciation,
Awesome.
and she will be back tomorrow. Father, we love you. Thank you for this discussion today.
Yeah.
Bless our sister, her family, Lord, as she continues to be an advocate, as she provides service to those in our community in need. Bless her with good health and a long life, God. I pray for open doors. I pray that this platform will catapult her to even more opportunity, that people can see her gift and utilize it to better help their church, their organization, their community, Lord. Use her greatly is my prayer. Bless this Tuesday. We give it to you, Lord. It's in your hand. Have your way in our lives. In Jesus' name, amen and amen. Yeah, Ariane, hold on one second. We'll see you backstage. Y'all take care, Faith Room.
Bye, y'all.